Hey, I'm Ton Vin, and this is Seattle Eats, a food podcast from the Seattle Times and KUOW. Hope you're recovering from all that holiday cooking and eating. Today, we're sharing a conversation I had with Kenji Lopez-Alt and Rachel Belle at our live show at Town Hall Seattle back in November. Kenji is a renowned chef, food scientist, and culinary innovator. You might know him from his New York Times bestseller, The Food Lab. And Rachel is the author of the cookbook Open Sesame. She's the host of the podcast Your Last Meal and the Emmy-nominated Cascade PBS TV show, The Nosh with Rachel Belle. It was a fun conversation with two of my favorite culinary cousins. We talked about how to make a meal for under $10, our favorite places to eat around Seattle, and the best spots for date night. And most importantly, we went deep into hot pot etiquette. Things got real. So kick back, grab a glass of leftover eggnog, and enjoy my conversation with Kenji Lopez-Alt and Rachel Belle.
I thought I was going to have like a Lily Tomlin moment for a second here.
They are comfy. Yeah.
It is comfortable.
We're talking about whether the chairs will be comfortable or
Doesn't
not.
it look like Ton needs a pipe and a fireplace?
I know, I feel like it. See, I always hate sitting next to you, Rachel, because you got
Rude.
You got like so much energy, and I always thought that you had coffee
No,
or
I don't drink
espresso
caffeine.
before like you meet me, and then I realized, yes, you don't drink coffee, and you don't either. Do you, Kenji? Do you drink coffee?
I drink coffee, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we were doing a morning taping, and you reach for a hot tea with milk. So I thought you didn't drink coffee.
I won't drink coffee if I have to do something that requires me not to jitter.
Like surgery.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm curious, like in this audience, who drinks coffee every day? Yeah. Well, all right. I drank, God, what is it? 3 cups? No, 3 espresso.
Well, you have your fancy machine that you're just trying to make your money back on.
Yes, that's true. I paid $1,000 for an espresso machine.
Mm-hmm.
What's the machine?
Breville.
Which one?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. That's right. You got.
All right, nerds.
The Oracle, or is it?
It might be the Oracle.
Does it have a touch screen?
It does not have a touch screen.
Oh.
So it's not the Oracle. Yeah, but it is a good investment because I drink. I know now I'm all self-conscious, but it is a good investment because I drink 3 to 4 espresso every other day. Because on days I fast, it helps curb my appetite. It also does something else to my system, but I won't gross you out on that. But yeah, but I'm always impressed that you don't drink coffee.
Thank you.
Life goals. But we're here to talk about food. Let's move on to another topic in the food world right now: price of groceries. It's not very affordable for a lot of people. And about 42 million people who are on food stamps who are struggling to put food on the table. So I put you guys to the task. I'm going to give you a price point of, say, I don't know, $10 per person, average out. What would you make in terms of a meal, cook with a meal?
For me, it's less about thinking about the price of an individual meal and more about being frugal about how you use your leftovers and how you repurpose and make sure that you don't waste. Because a lot, there's a ton of food waste, and a lot of it happens at home. And so, if you buy bigger things and you buy like a pork shoulder, right? And that's like a significant chunk of money, but you braise that pork shoulder and then you can use it in 5 different ways, or you can freeze it and use it down the line. And that cuts the cost of an individual meal down a lot. Because, I find one of the problems with recipes is that you get this list of ingredients, right? And so then you go and you're like, okay, I might have a couple of these in my pantry, but then you have to go and buy all these other things at the supermarket, and then you don't know what to do with what's left over in those. So that's why I find that learning how to cook and how to think about ingredients and how they can go together, and really learning techniques as opposed to just recipes that call for a specified amount of stuff is really important. And maybe that's something that, like back in the day, like home ec classes would teach that, and they would teach you how to use leftovers. And I think a lot of cookbooks used to focus on that as well. Whereas these days it's less. It's more about getting some specialty ingredient. And then you're like, what do I do with this thing? Or like, what do I do with these this half bunch of parsley that I have? So I think really it's not a question of what would I cook for an individual meal, but it's more how do I think about, my week or my month or, the next meals ahead of this next one that I'm cooking.
I'll be a teacher's pet and answer your question directly. What I would make. The first thing that I thought of was Japanese sweet potatoes. I love them. They're less sweet than like a classic orange sweet potato. And I lived in Japan for a year of 15 years ago. And in the town I lived in, this truck would come through the neighborhood sometimes. And it was in Japanese, but the translation, it was this recording and you would hear, sweet potatoes. And it was like the ice cream man. People would run out because he was coal roasting these Japanese sweet potatoes in the back of the truck. And he would pull one out and you would eat it plain. And it was so good. It honestly didn't need salt or butter or anything. And you would break it open and the steam would come out and they're just so creamy and luscious. They're so good. So I've been so happy that you can find them now, like at Trader Joe's even. So there's so many things you can do, like get a real big one or like a few small ones. There's one recipe I love. One of my favorite cookbooks is called Eating Out Loud by Eden Grinchpin. She's the host of Top Chef Canada. And she has this recipe where I actually like to steam them. I feel like they get very silky. And then it's like a gremolata with basil and garlic and olive oil and sunflower seeds. And then you make a lemony sour cream and you put those two things on. But I will mash like butter and miso together and then like saute vegetables and put that on top. I'll make like a garlicky tahini sauce from my book for sale over there. ABP always be plugging. And yeah, do like a tahini sauce and vegetables. So I feel like there's a lot you can do with any sweet potato, but I like the Japanese ones the best.
Ooh. I would throw this out, and that is during the pandemic when restaurants were shut down and they do these takeout kits, I thought that was a perfect blueprint on how they eat on a budget. And how they would do it is they call these family style meal, and it's just 1 pound of a protein or fish. And you have all these, you would call them high margin sides or cheap sides pretty much. You would have flour and water, which is bread, pasta. You have legumes, you have beans, which is very popular because it's cheap. You have corn, you have a salad. You have this meal, and it's usually for like $49.99, but fit for like 4 to 5 people, and there's always leftovers. So I always thought that was the way to go. Because for me, the epiphany of this, and I think people should realize this if they don't, that is, if you look at restaurants right now, what's hip, what's popular is, I hate this term, artisanal pasta, handmade pasta, bread, sandwiches, bagels, pizzas. And what are these? They're basically just flour and water. They're really high margin items. And my epiphany on this is years ago, Mark Bittman, no knead bread recipe. Have you guys heard this? You know this.
Is it Jim Leahy?
Yes, who started it, but Mark Bittman made it really famous. And it was just an epiphany for me because basically you don't even need stuff. You need, as in not need, N-E-E-D, but need. And all you do is you just mix flour and water and you just wait pretty much and voila. You have this bread that's just great with butter. And I thought, this baking thing is a scam. These bread, it's like, what? But that opened my eyes and look at things differently. And if you look at restaurants, if flour and water is if you know how to cook, if all you did was know how to work with like pasta, bread, you're just set. What other stuff that's good, that's just as good or easy to make at home as opposed to going out? I'll throw one out there, coffee, espresso. That's easy enough.
Once you have the $1,000 Breville machine.
Yeah,
it's a good investment.
Cheap.
It's a good investment. It's the second best investment I've ever made after buying a house. That's my second best investment.
The first thing I thought of was Italian food. I feel like I cannot make really good Mexican food at home no matter how much I try. I can't make it taste like the taco truck, but I find it's pretty easy to make good Italian food. I mean, depending on what you're making. Like you said, like you can go out and get a bowl of pasta for anywhere between $18 and $30, and you could make that at home for so little. Like if you like, alla vodka, penne alla vodka, kind of like that sauce is so easy to make at home, and I think it tastes just as good as a restaurant. Same with like spaghetti and meatballs, like Italian American kind of things, or even just like lasagna, making like a big pot of bolognese and doing the bechamel. You can make a whole lasagna for way cheaper. I mean, it would cost less to get all the ingredients for the whole lasagna than you would pay probably for one big slab of it.
Wow. I mean, in some cases, I think restaurants, some restaurants benefit a lot from economies of scale. But I mean, the secret, it's not even a secret, but restaurant food costs are generally around 25% of what you're paying. That's what most restaurants budget for. And so when you go out to a restaurant, you're not really paying for the ingredients. You're paying for the rent, you're paying for the service, you're paying for the linens, you're paying for the cleaners, you're paying for the toilet that explodes in the middle of the night. You're paying for all these other things. And so if your goal is just to save money on eating, all you have to do is learn how to cook, and then most things that you get in a restaurant you're going to get for cheaper. I would say, really, aiming for high margin items, so yeah, pasta you're going to make much cheaper at home. I think one of the highest margin items is breakfast sandwiches, right? It's like you go to Volunteer Park Cafe, and those are amazing breakfast sandwiches, but when you add bacon to them, they end up being like $18, and you do it with the coffee, and it's like $21 for coffee and a breakfast sandwich, and you can make that at home for a few dollars, right? Or you can just go to the convenience store probably and get them for cheaper. They're not going to be as good, but if you do it at home and you practice a little and you learn how to cook, then most things you can make for cheaper than at a restaurant, because at a restaurant you're not paying for the food, really. You're paying for everything else that comes with the restaurant.
I heard if we didn't buy avocado toast, we could all have a home.
Rachel. Okay, let's leave the home kitchen and hit some restaurants. And I love this because people was asking me where to go. So I get to ask you guys. We'll do this. We'll do a lightning round, or maybe a slow lightning round. I'm going to throw a food or a menu item, and you tell me where you would get it, or what's your favorite place. Ready? Bagels.
Hey Bagel.
I would say Hey Bagel or Backyard Bagel, which is no, not nearby here, but they just opened their second location in Phinney Ridge, I think, and they have one up in Fremont also.
And Mount Bagel.
Sandwich. Take your pick. Hot or cold. Doesn't matter.
The hoagie from Post-Elt Pizza.
That's mine too. That's my favorite
Really?
too. Oh yeah, by far. We're having this trend in Seattle of Italian sandwiches.
I like those
recently.
too. Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know if there's like an East Coast influence happening, or if it's just because it's less expensive, but I feel like we're finally getting these items that people felt we couldn't get here from the East Coast, like good bagels, good pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And in the past just year or even 6 months, so many places have opened doing like Italian American style hoagies, or a lot of focaccia sandwiches.
Right, the focaccia one.
Yeah.
So, there's Bottega Gabriele, there's
Fortuna,
Stumbletown, there's Fortuna,
Darcolino's. There's my friend Derek does a really good one now. They just started on the weekends.
Yeah,
they
do
just
bucks,
started.
though, yeah.
But I think Post Alley is far and away the best.
Yes,
the best
agreed.
one. And you have to get. Do you guys know about Hoagie Jazz? Oh. Let's tell them.
Do you want to name one ingredient at a time? Also?
Yeah.
All right.
Like an okay, you go first.
All right. There's like pickled Calabrian chili peppers in it.
Anchovies.
Olive oil.
A lot of
garlic.
anchovy.
It's
and
just
I think that's it, honestly.
That's it. But yeah, if you ask for Hoagie Jazz on the sandwich, you get this like paste of just umami, spicy, garlicky. It's so good. And they make their own rolls. They're sesame seed rolls. And it's sharp provolone. I mean, it's a very good sandwich.
And you have to ask for the jazz, because that doesn't work without it. Because I know it's very fishy, it's funky. It's basically just umami, but people don't like it. If you don't like it, you should not order this sandwich. Wouldn't you say? Because I don't think it works without it.
I haven't had it
without it. I think the
without
sandwich works even without it.
Really?
Yeah. They do like brass. They do like bitter greens chopped up with iceberg inside. They do really good olive oil. I mean, honestly, it's the bread, right? It's the same people behind Saint Bread and Tivoli. And Post-Elt Pizza, and they know how to work with flour and water.
Yeah, there you go.
and charge $16 for it.
Yeah. Mortadella sandwiches, $20. I love mortadella sandwich. You guys have a favorite?
I haven't been eating them around here. I want to try the one at Bottega Gabriele.
Yeah, I've had the one at Bottega Gabriele. Mortadella. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know that I've eaten that many mortadella sandwiches out. They have a great one at Tivoli. It's on focaccia with like a pistachio butter.
I think that's one of the best ones.
And fresh ricotta, I think. Yeah. I make them at home. I usually do them with deli sliced bologna, which I call freedom mortadella. But yeah, we do them at home.
When you get it, I do the same thing. When you get the bologna from the deli sliced thin, it does feel like a luxury.
Yeah, I mean, it's bologna is American mortadella.
Yeah.
See, one of the reasons why mortadella is just so popular now, it's really cheap because it's really, you only need like 2 or 3 ounce to make a sandwich. Right. And how you do it, you stack it up so it looks real fluffy. So when you get the sandwich, it looks like it's really high. There's a lot of height to it, but there's actually not a lot of meat. But it's intensely flavored, so it does work.
Yeah, well, Cooks Illustrated had this article like sometime last year where they said the most important ingredient in a cold cut sandwich is air.
I read that too.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think well, at least an Italian sub should be compressed. Like it should be preferably wrapped and rested so that by the time you get it, it's like one solid thing with no air at all.
Like a burrito, same, like toit.
Yeah.
Anybody? No? Okay.
I like my burritos nice and
that felt
nice
like the
airy.
longest half second of my life. Like everyone was like.
I sometimes I stick my burritos into one of the whipped cream canisters and just foam them out.
It's funny you should say that because Fortuno, it's Greenwood. What is it?
Fortuna.
Is it Fortuna?
Yeah.
Fortuna. How they do theirs is so much different from everyone else because when you get a mortadella sandwich across the city, people they do like you. They compress it. They stack it down. Mm-hmm. But those guys, they fold like a handkerchief. So it's fold 3 ways and has a little lift. And they're convinced it tastes different.
They read the Cooks Illustrated article.
I agree. Yeah. I think it does. I think it just tastes better. And I can't understand why.
One of the most life-changing sandwich moments of my life was when I was around 11 years old. My parents and my sisters and I were driving up to upstate New York, and we stopped at a gas station. And my sister ordered a bologna sandwich, and I think it was like at a Cumberland Farms gas station or something like that. But it was white bread, lots of mayo, and then a stack of bologna like an inch and a half thick, but really thinly sliced bologna that was just layered, you know. And so you bite into it, and it's almost like biting into Spam, I guess. But you get this tiny little crack between each layer of bologna, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is.
I can feel the white bread in my molars.
Yeah. This is what
That's good.
Yeah, sandwich dreams are made of.
I said there was a lightning round, but I didn't say it was a fast. Sorry. Next one, best whole pizza.
I really like Lupo in Fremont.
Lupo's great.
It's so good. They do a thin crust, Napoli style, and their crust is so chewy and like the perfect char. And I love the atmosphere in there. I love Lupo.
All right, so for Neapolitan, Lupo's great. I would say Bar del Corso or Lupo are great. For like a sort of modern Neapolitan style, the Independent over by like Washington in Montlake, or is it
Madison?
Madison, yeah.
White clam pizza.
I think they're closed until mid-December. For Detroit style, my friend Derek's. For New York style, AK Pizza that just opened in Othello, Alex Kim, he learned how to make pizza during the pandemic. He was making pizza at Oxbow Bakery, and then he went and consulted for a little while for the Big Mario's in Capitol Hill, and then he was working at Tivoli, and then he opened his own place. But I think AK Pizza is like the best. Yeah, it's like world class New York style. It's sort of modern New York, New Haven-ish. East Coast style pizza, but it's really, really special.
But it's hard to get because it's like Moto was when Moto opened. Like you have to sign up 2 days before and you have to click. So I've heard that it's hard to get that pizza.
That's an understatement. It's impossible to get.
Yeah.
Let's see. As we're recording this is November. I would wait till March 2027.
Oh,
maybe?
Well, all you have to do is text Alex.
It's like the Enchantments lottery trying to get this pizza.
You know what? Another one. Actually, I went with you, and that is we went to Ben's Bread for the pizza pop-up. Has anyone been here? I'm curious. Ben's Bread. It's one of the most popular pizzas in Seattle.
I loved it.
Yes, that's right. We went to get on this, and it starts on Wednesday at 5:30. And here's the thing: it sells out by 6:30. So, huh? You have to be in line by 5:30. And Rachel, I didn't tell you this because I met Rachel at Ben's Bread because we're going to do this. And I don't think I ever told you this story. I'm always punctual, so I was there at 4:30.
Well, okay, let me do the truth. He told us he would get there early and hold his place in the line. So I just sauntered up at 6 or something. And you told me to do that.
But you have to get in line. What I did was I stopped by Holy Mountain, had a beer at 3. Next you know, it's 5:15. I'm thinking, I got 15 minutes. I don't see a line. And I walked around. Holy cow. I was scared. I never told you this. I was scared I really messed up and it was going to be sold out. Yes. And here's how they do it at Ben's Bread. It's sort of like Franklin's Barbecue. I don't know if you've been to Franklin's Barbecue. Yeah, so what they do is there's only so many pizza at Ben's Bread, and the line is 2 blocks long. I'm not exaggerating. It's at least 2 blocks long. So someone will walk along the line and take a notebook pad, I'm trying to remember, and ask you how many pizzas you want. She goes down the line, and at some point, she'll go, I'm sorry, we're sold out of pizza. But I was thinking, like, what? I ordered 2 pizzas for us, but what if I wanted 3? Does that mess up number 99 in line?
The trick is to be first and order all the pizzas and then resell them.
But anyway, another good pizza. If you were to be blindfolded, you would know this is a Ben's Bread pizza. It has a very sharp sourdough tang. If you've been to 50/50 in Portland, you like that. This is a dead ringer for that. It's very sharp in terms of the sourdough tang. And you like
I love that because I find a lot of sourdough pizza, sourdough bagels. I can't actually taste the sourdough, but you could really taste it. I thought it was a plus.
Yeah. Again, like I said, this was a very slow lightning round.
I know.
Best done. For Chicago style pan pizza and Chicago thin crust, Windy City, I think has the best pizza, best Chicago style pizzas I've had outside of Chicago.
I also like Sunny Hill for Detroit style in North Ballard.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do like a sort of hybrid focaccia-ish,
Yeah.
sourdough-ish, semi-Detroit
But you
style.
get the crispy cheese walls.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's unique.
Ooh, and they have the good pepperoni. I call them pepperoni hot tubs because they're all curled up full. You could just like climb right
call
into
them,
that hot
yeah.
grease. Yeah.
Crispy grease chalices.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. But there's more Kenji and Rachel to come. Coming up, our favorite date night restaurants. Let's see what else. A place to take a date.
If we're talking first date, I cannot commit to a whole dinner. I may want to leave. So it's like, if it's going well after a drink, then I will allow you to order some food and we can stay. I have a couple. I guess you guys can look for me out on the town then, because I have 2 places I always go. I love going to, if there was going to be food, I like going to Taco Tuesday at the Tin Hat.
Yeah.
The Tin Hat is
still
great.
$1?
No, it's $1.69 now.
Blasphemy. And it's the hard
it's good.
taco shell?
I call them suburban mom tacos. Yeah, it's the hard shell, and you
Yes.
can get beans, but no, and ground beef, and then, like the shredded cheddar and the shreddis, and that's great. Or I love Hattie's Hat. Hattie's Hat is the place I would be the most sad if it closed in Seattle. It's been open, I think, about like 100 years, maybe not under the same name, but yeah, those are my 2 spots for first dates.
I don't know. We're talking first dates, but
No, it doesn't have to be first date.
no. I mean, I like eating cheap places with my kids. I like all those kinds of places. But I do like when I have a date night. It's because like I've found a babysitter, or like my kids are with their mom and I have time off, and so I like to go somewhere somewhere nice. So yeah, I would say in Eastlake I do like to stay in my neighborhood. So Sushi Kapotamura, I think, is one of the best sushi places. You were talking about Tai Chi earlier. Yeah.
Teriyaki turkey.
Yeah. Sushi Kapotamura is great. Serafina in Eastlake is like, I think it's the city's oldest Italian restaurant, and they still do a pretty good job. I think there's no restaurant anywhere like Canlis. I haven't been there since the new chef has started, but it's such a unique building, even regardless of the food. Just like sitting in that room and getting that view. and being in this sort of historic place, I think is really, really special. And you can go and sit at the if you want to peel out after, if it's not going well, you can go and sit at the counter there sit at the bar, and they have a decent bar menu that you don't have to get the whole $180 tasting menu or whatever it is now. But
I think we talked about this, Rachel, at some point. First dates for me, it's always a bar, and I always aim for the elbow. You always want to be, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what I'm talking about is because bars, we don't think about it as a date place because you're all along the row. It's like those high school basement party with the seats are right up against the wall, and you're just like this. But so what I find is Zigzag, Lower Sonic.
Zigzag, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And you want the corner bar, so that way, if I'm sitting here,
you can touch knees.
That's right.
That's why I like to be on the corner.
Here, so you're making eye contact, and plus at a great place like Lower Sun, which is a great dinner place, I think you get better service when you go to hot restaurants because your server is right there. He's your damn bartender. Mm-hmm. He's standing right there to take your order. So yes, my thing is Lower Sun, but really any. Actually, I had a date at the Tin Hat years ago. I enjoyed the tacos.
Zigzag on a Sunday night when there's live jazz. That way, if the conversation's not going well, there's something to distract you also.
Yes. Just do this. Yeah.
That's the best jazz in the city now, free. Yeah. And it's not only on Sunday, it's Sunday, Monday, and believe Tuesday now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, it's a big hit. Highly recommend it. That's a good cheap date because it's free jazz, and it is one of the best. It's really packed these days if you're a jazz fan. Sorry, this slow lightning round. Pasta shape. Favorite pasta shape?
I like a nice tubular pasta. Yeah, like rigatoni for me is probably my most used pasta shape. Mostly because, and it used to be sort of longer pastas. My kids love longer pastas, but they're 4 and 8, and so like anytime you make a longer pasta, you have to factor in like an extra 15 minutes of like getting pasta out of the floor and out of the ceiling. Like it's just much messier. So a nice sort of short tubular pasta shape is what I go for. Rigatoni.
I really like lumache, which is also called shellbows. They're like those kind of chubby. For macaroni and cheese, it's the best. And then this is such a Dan Pashman question, and I have a Dan Pashman answer.
Cascatelli.
I love cascatelli. Yeah. It is a superior pasta. He did a very good job.
And you should tell the backstory because I don't think anyone knows. You got to be a real pasta geek to know this one. Go ahead.
Dan Pashman hosts a podcast called The Sporkful, James Beard award-winning podcast. He beat me at the James Beard Awards, but I like him anyway. Anyway, he went on a quest for years to invent a new pasta shape, and he had all these criteria. It was what? Forkability,
mouth,
sauceability,
tooth syncability.
Yes.
And everyone thought his idea was so dumb. Why do you need a new pasta shape? And so he had to find people who would like believe in him to make it with him. But in the end, it turned out to be a really good shape. And you had to order it with Sfolini, is who makes it out of New York State. But it's been licensed by Trader Joe's. So you can get cascatelli at Trader Joe's. And then I've actually seen the Sfolini one at sometimes like Whole Foods or Town and Country markets, but it means waterfall in Italian, and so it looks like a waterfall with ridges on it, and it does hold sauce. It has that
like
nice chew.
I'd say, but
yeah. I like that.
But yeah, it's a really fascinating series. It was like a 2-year-long series where he went to Italy. He studied sort of all these old pasta shapes. He went through all these different trials of how to get different shapes and like how to get the like the ruffled ridges in them.
Yeah,
because it's all this
the extruder.
All this physics that goes on in the extruder when you push dough through it. And he got it's sort of a cross between like it's like an open macaroni with like a mafalde ruffle to it.
If you haven't listened to it, it's a 5-part series, and then he ended up inventing 2 more shapes after that, or actually he went to Italy and revived them, 2 shapes that weren't being made anymore.
Quadratini and like a volcano shaped one.
I have it at home.
I don't remember.
God, this is a real nerd fest. I've never seen Star Trek, but I can talk about pasta shapes for a really long time.
He came out with a book 2 years ago called Mission Impossible, which was about inventing that pasta shape and then creating a bunch of recipes for it.
Yeah, having sauces to go with it that aren't traditional Italian sauces.
Yes. Okay.
Shout out to Dan Pashman. Yeah.
Give him free publicity. Good. Let's go to, let's see, it's fall. And when I'm thinking of fall and winter, I think a hot pot. Hot pot etiquette. Let me ask you two. You go to a hot pot. Does one person take charge of the hot pot? Or is it every person for him or herself? How do you play this?
It's every person for themselves as far as like putting ingredients in, but then you're in charge of keeping track of your own thing. And if something's been in there too long, you can't get mad if someone else pulls it out, or if it kind of meanders around to the opposite side of the pot. Like, I think it's fair game. I think, well, you know, it's like hungry hippos. Whatever's in your whatever's in your quadrant is yours.
How do you play it?
I usually end up at the places where you have your own hot pot, so I don't end up having to share. I know, but I don't know. I don't care about germs or anything. Like, you can put whatever you want in there.
Oh, I'm like a soup Nazi when it comes to hot pot.
Oh, tell us more.
And for one thing is, if I put something in there and I wait for 5 minutes and you grab it, oh, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad. And the other thing I'm really stickler about is like, if you put a calamari in there, I'm just staring. I'm like, it's going to get rubbery. Get it out. Fish it out now. It's going to get rubbery. Or you put a pork meatball in there, I'll slap your hand. Say, no, it's not ready. You can get food poisoning. Leave it in there.
Just a nice, relaxing dinner with you.
Yes.
Do you ever put decoys in, like the extra ones?
But I will say this. I was bothered up by this. I did ask someone as Heidi Lau, and they said that how most people play it, for most Asian households, and this is just opinion of one manager, I believe, what they do is usually with Asian households, there's one person that's in charge of putting everything in the hot pot, and then, you know, everyone can pick and choose, or he or she just divvies out. And what the manager said, when it comes to more Americans or white people, it's just like you said, it's every person for himself, and there's no rules or logic. And a lot of times you pick up other stuff that someone put in, and man, that makes me angry.
It's a metaphor for our culture.
Makes me angry. Don't do it. I'm telling you, this is an etiquette. I'm sorry. If you're in a hot pot, if it's not your individual hot pot and it's a communal bowl, if I put my calamari or my fish ball in there, do not touch it. That is mine. That's the rules. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest.
I've never seen you this riled up.
Onward. Of course, food is not just about taste. It's all about the ambiance and the experience and the people. So I want to talk about the third place, and that could be a restaurant, a brewery, a coffee shop. So for you guys, how do you guys like to hang in terms of a place away from home or work? Is there a favorite third place for you?
I'm someone who really enjoys solo dining at a bar, and I'm also someone, one of the reasons I love Seattle, I grew up and lived in New York for a long time, and I find New York is a place it's really difficult. In some neighborhoods you can, but it's difficult to become a regular somewhere because there's so many things to do and see and new places to try all the time, whereas I lived in Boston for 10 years and I live in Seattle, and I feel in many ways those two cities are very similar in that, there's everything here, but there's not so much that I feel overwhelmed all the time. So for me, it's really a third place is the kind of place you can go and get to know the people who work there, feel comfortable talking to the person sitting next to you. There's a few places, in East Lake now. I go down to I go to the zoo, which is the
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. They have a good non-alcoholic beer selection there now, and everybody. I like to go to like a Cheers type place where everybody knows your name. I like to, like, once every other month or so, I'll go and sit at the bar at the Met, the Metropolitan Grill, and like that's my like steak night. And I'll bring my computer and I'll sit there and work there, and I'll talk to the bartenders who all know what I want.
Good burger. Good happy hour burger.
They do have a good burger there. Yeah. And I also, this might be a strange one, I like Olympia Pizza House 2, the one in Capitol Hill, which does Greek-style pizza.
I've also been trying to get behind this Greek-style pizza.
Yeah, well, Greek-style pizza is a thing that was really popular in New England, and I didn't realize that anywhere else in the country had.
Explain this to people out here?
So Greek style pizza, it's a pan pizza style, and generally, so the pan will be sort of greased with Crisco shortening, something like that. So it's a little bit thicker, and then it's baked really crispy on the bottom. And then usually the cheese is not mozzarella; it'll be like a combination of mozzarella and maybe cheddar, something like that. But yeah, it's sort of like a thicker pan pizza style.
Puffy.
Yeah, puffy. Yeah, puffy and cheesy. And not really like, it doesn't have any of the qualities that I typically look for in any other kind of pizza. But they have like a happy hour there where you get like a individual size pan pizza for like $8 or something like that. And it's always like a wild, not like heart of Capitol Hill crowd where like you have to dodge the vomit on the floor, but like
it's on 15th.
Yeah, like a slightly weird crowd who are always fun to meet new people and fun to talk to there. So.
I don't really have, it's kind of sad. I don't really have a third place anymore that's a restaurant or a bar. For those who don't know, the concept of third place, first is usually your home, second's usually your work. So it's like the third place where you hang out the most. Mine is Green Lake. I'm always at Green Lake. I work out there 4 days a week, yoga there, walking there. But when it comes to food, I was thinking about it. It's actually one of my best friends who's here tonight. My third place is Jessica Assetti's house. Because not only am I there just hanging out, but like I read a lot of Babysitters Club books growing up. And I always wanted to have a babysitters club, and I didn't. So now that I'm an adult, I have a lot of clubs that my friends and I make up. So we have something called Country Club, and we've done it for 6 years, once a month. We're cooking from every country in the world in alphabetical order. And it's taken us 6 years. We just got to the G's, and we meet every month. And we usually do it at Jess's house. And then we have our craft club every third Monday, and we all bring a dish on a theme. And we just do a lot of things with groups of friends where we eat together, and it's often at her house and she has a pool. So in the summer we do pool parties. So I think that my third place is Jessica Assetti's house.
I think it's very Seattle to have a third place where you don't have to see people you don't know.
That's the thing, though. I'm so extroverted and I like meeting people, and sometimes I'm like, we're just insulated in there. Yeah, it just happens. Yeah.
I told you, she doesn't drink coffee. She's like this all the time. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Have anyone heard this place, Open Forum on Capitol Hill? It's a really cool tea shop, Persian tea shop. If you walk on Pike and Pine Corridor, it looks like a speakeasy. It looks like it's really hard to find. Even you have to GPS it. And once you get upstairs, it's a really nice tea house. And I bring this up because I want this to be my third place, but it is so packed now. I can never get a seat. It's unbelievable. So check it out. And as these words come out of my mouth, I'm just like, why did I do that? Now it's going to be more popular. Now what is the
coffee shop record store in Columbia City? Empire? Empire? Is that what it's called? Yes.
Claire
Empire
confirms.
Yeah. They have good waffles and coffee downstairs, and then it's just like 3 stories of spaces you can just kind of hang out in, and it's very rarely full or busy, and it's just like a beautiful place to just go sit and like relax and get some good food and get some good coffee and work or do whatever you want. But yeah, it's a record shop and coffee shop in Columbia City that's beautiful, I think.
And Kenji, you would love this. In my neighborhood, Standard Brewing, I hang out there, and I know you've been there before. Mm-hmm. They have really good food. And the latest chef that works there, she does Colombian food.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I haven't been there in a while now. But yeah, they've always had really good tacos there. They had this like kind of like a whole carrot taco. It's like a
best weird, vegetarian taco.
Yeah, it's like a sort of a tempura fried carrot with some kind of sauce that was really good.
Tomorrow's mahjong night at Jessica Assetti's. Everyone bring a dish. I wish I was kidding.
Is she here?
Yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, you know who she is. She's in like half of my pictures.
Questions. We have lots of questions that people would ask and written in. I want to ask some of them right now. One is, South End. We talk so much about the rest of the city, but what about South King County? Renton, Berrien, further away. I have some suggestions, but any favorites down there?
I actually Googled to see what was all in South King County, and Vashon is included in it. And there's a really good pizza place called Lunetta that is wood-fired. It's so good. And then the other day I was on Tom Douglas's radio show, and there was somebody there who has a macaron business in Renton, and I can't remember what it's called, but they've been there for a long time, and it was the best macaron I'd ever had. So just Google what macaron. It wasn't too sweet, and I had a passion fruit one, and it was like so tart. It was very good. And then also there's this really good like small family-owned place in Auburn called the Dairy Queen. The peanut butter parfait, like when you're coming back, it's a perfect food. I do a lot of hiking, and I end up coming back through Auburn a lot, like coming back from Mount Rainier and having a peanut butter parfait. I did the Enchantments like a month ago. It seriously is a perfectly engineered food.
You did the Enchantments? Did you win the lottery?
Yeah, my friend did. Yeah.
Jessica?
No,
is this Jessica?
That's the one thing we don't have in common, actually. Yeah, she's not a big hiker like me.
El Cabrito. It's a Mexican place.
Yeah.
They do tlayudas, which are like big. They're big. They're made with masa, but as opposed to like a tostada, which is fried, a tlayuda is grilled, and so it's kind of crispy and toasty, and then they top it with nopales and beans and whatever you want, carne asada, something like that. But it's like a giant thing that you can just share with a bunch of people.
What is the place called?
Cabrito.
Cabrito.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, Cabrito, right? Well, AK Pizza opened in Othello. So does that count now? I don't know my geography, but
I think that's still Seattle.
Yeah, all
but
right. The Beerian Fish House.
Yes.
For I think like kind of old school Seattle style fish and chips, which is panko crusted as opposed to like beer. I grew up in beer battered fish and chips, which is what I still love. But if you want like a good sort of Seattle style panko crusted Asian influenced fish and chips, Beerian Fish House. It feels like a. I mean, it feels kind of like an East Coast fish house to me, or something you'd find in Alaska,
In Federal Way, there's a place called Yee's Traditional Korean Beef Noodle Soup. And it
what
sounds
do they make
very... What the funny thing is, you would think, like, hey, this is where I'm going to get beef noodle soup. But they make the best Korean pancakes, the seafood pancakes. And it's sort of like... Well, I think their secret is they just put a lot of oil. But it's sort of like a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut, because the side is all crusty, has like nice, almost like a more
very buttery.
Yeah, and it's just a fantastic. The beef soup is good, but you want to go there for the seafood pancake down there. In Renton, and actually pretty much in the Vietnamese community, the place to be is a place called Pho Hien Gang. It's in Renton, and it is packed. Like Renton is pretty much going to be the hotbed for Vietnamese food in King County. That's where everyone's opening a pho house or noodle shop in Renton, but the best is Pho Hien Gang, and they have a lot of dishes that you would not find at other restaurants. It's very homey. It's very traditional. It's just like dishes that you would only find in Vietnam, and they serve it on Fridays and Saturdays, and it's not been posted. People just know you go there, and I guess if you're lucky, they'll write it on the board for you. But usually, you just gotta know it. You guys know what they do. Another question people ask was vegetarian food or vegan food. What place would you suggest?
I mean, we live in a city that has incredible Ethiopian food, and there's always great vegan and vegetarian options at Ethiopian restaurants. But yeah, any of those places on Cherry Street, and I haven't been to every one of them, but I haven't had a bad experience at most of them yet. So yeah, I would say, any cuisine that has like a natural, that has a history of vegetarian and vegan food. So like a lot of Chinese restaurants are going to have great options.
Indian food,
Ethiopian food. Some of the Japanese spots. There's a bunch of great like tofu houses in the international district that make fresh tofu. But I don't think we're lacking for vegan food and vegetarian food here.
I'll throw a wild card out there. If you want fancy vegetarian and vegan food, Cook Weaver on Capitol Hill. They do a tasting menu, a vegetarian tasting menu. It is fantastic.
Cafe Flora also has is vegetarian, and they got a lot of really good sort of lunch options and more casual. But it's a nice place also. I take my kids there sometimes. Yeah. They have a good like a good mushroom melt, like a French dip, but with mushrooms. It's really good.
Yeah, and a hot place I would say in Bellevue now. I think it's a place called Chay, Chay, and it's a new place that just opened this year, and they do really good vegetarian food as well. And something really weird and funky, and we talked about this, and along Phinney Ridge at a bar called Oliver's
Twist.
Oliver's Twist. They do a vegetarian noodle bowl. And the vegetarian noodle, they don't use tofu. Instead, they use jackfruit. And it has a great texture. It has a very meaty texture. It tastes so much better than tofu. And I wish more restaurants would use jackfruit.
I love tofu, though.
Me too.
Really?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like vodka. It's like there's no flavor. It's, I guess, whatever you put in it. But no? Why tofu?
I wouldn't say it has no flavor. It has a subtle flavor, but it's also sort of a textural thing. You know, I don't know. I grew up eating silken tofu, so like a block of cold silken tofu with some soy sauce and dashi and like bonito flakes and sliced scallions and ginger. That's like a perfect lunch, or like a dish like mapo tofu that combines tofu with a little bit like a really spicy chili sauce and fermented chilies. Like, I guess you add flavors from other things, but tofu for me is really about adding a nice texture. And and for me it's like we grew up eating tofu, so it was never like a meat substitute. It's just its own thing. No, I love tofu.
All right.
Well, if you're going to get mad like about the hot pot, then I like jackfruit too.
2026 is coming up. So what are you guys looking forward to in terms of food or restaurants?
Most of my life is centered around what my kids are doing, because they're still growing up. So I'm looking forward to having a not 4-year-old, and being able to, so like my daughter is 8, and she loves going on little food adventures. She's got a very adventurous palate. Like when we went to New York like a year ago, and we went to 16 different pizza places because she's like, can we do one of those things where you just go and eat pizza all day? Like, sure.
Yes.
And so I'm waiting for my 5-year-old to get to that stage also, so we can all go together and go exploring. But no, I mean, for me, I think it's more just exploring Seattle. It's like I moved to Seattle in 2020, and for me, the best way to discover a city is to go from neighborhood to neighborhood and try the food. And so we got an e-bike, and both kids fit on the back, and we bike somewhere and try something new. So I think
just personally, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to really do with the year, but I've just been thinking about foods that I really love that I don't eat enough of, because I always want to try something new, and then I don't go back enough to places that I do like. And so just in general, I was thinking I want to eat a lot more sushi in 2026. And also Jessica and I are starting a new club in January. We had a meeting the other day about it, and it's a restaurant club so that we can try more new places. So we made a spreadsheet on Excel, and it's like the lists of the places we want to go, and then the dates, and then slots so people can sign up. So we'll send it out. Yeah, that's 2026 is a restaurant Excel sheet. Club.
You're real fun at parties, I see. For me, I'm thinking 26. Okay, it's going to be a Debbie Downer. But one thing I want to see less in 2026 are those push cart dim sums.
I love those.
No, because I think if you want good dim sum, you got to take it. You got to take the playbook from Richmond, BC, and that is always order from the menu. It's mostly made to order, because the problem with dim sum when it's push cart, and I know I bring this up, and I'm sorry, I don't want to do a hot take, but it bugs me because those push cart dim sum, especially if you go after 1:30, they just sit there. I mean, and I know that a lot of, they would tell you, oh, it's coming. Trust me, I've talked to a lot of restaurants. These dim sum chefs start at 6 a.m. By 1:30, they are not making you more hacked out. What you have left is what's going in cart round and round, and that's it.
But isn't this like the bagel issue where it's like if you convince more people to go to dim sum, there'll be more turnover, and then you'll get fresher things. Because like one of the big issues with Seattle bagel culture until places like Hey Bagel and Backer Bagel is that you couldn't get a fresh bagel. Like you got a bagel that was baked that morning somewhere and then shipped somewhere else, and a bagel like after 45 minutes, like it might as well be a day old. And that's why people toast their bagels and everything. But now you get fresh bagels. So with dim sum. But there has to be. We should come up with like it's not the tragedy of the commons, but it's like the tragedy of the bagel shop, where you don't have enough volume, and so the quality goes down, and then people don't want to go, and they don't think of it as this thing. But if you convince people that if they just go, they just get out there and vote and go to dim sum, then everything's going to be better, right?
I just feel like when it's like 2:00 and you got dim sum. And if I see a dish that's been rolled around 3 times, I feel bad. I have to order it. I have to like get it off the court. It's like
you adopt it.
I adopt it. I just can't help it. And I've been joking. I do. I have like issues with this. It's like, oh man, there it is again. And there's that sad lady who's just pushing this cart. Like she looks. I will take it off your hands and I will just put it on my plate and just not eat it. No, but in all seriousness, because I know people do love pushcart dim sum, and I get it, right? Especially in the United States, because you want to see what you're ordering. Like hakao, people don't know hakao is a shrimp dumpling, so that's why you want to see it. I would say if it's around 1:30 and you want dim sum, pot stickers are great. They actually taste better at room temperature. Sticky rice is good. Daikon cakes are good, but that's it. And on that happy note, thank you for coming. That's it for today. This recording is from the Seattle Eats live event at Town Hall Seattle. Thanks to my guests, Kenji Lopez-Alt, author of the New York Times bestseller, The Food Lab, and Rachel Belle, author of the cookbook Open Sesame, and the host of the podcast Your Last Meal, and the Emmy-nominated Cascade PBS TV show The Nosh with Rachel Belle. And thanks to Town Hall Seattle. We put a link in our show notes of the places that we talked about on the show. Our Seattle Eats live event was produced by Claire McGrain and Charlotte Duran. Seattle Eats is a production on Seattle Times and KUOW, part of the NPR Network. You can support Seattle Eats by investing in the local newsroom and the specialized beats that make this storytelling possible. Please consider joining and subscribing at kuow.org/eats and seattletimes.com. Seattle Eats is produced by Brandy Fullwood and edited by Jim Gates and Trevor Lensmeyer. I'm Tom Vin. See you next week.